How's it going, guys? Today we're going to be watching why so many nurses are quitting in 2025. Like, nursing's a pretty hard job. A lot of people probably get into it thinking it's one thing and then it's really just wiping butts. Not really. Like, it's not all that, but a good majority of it in some aspects, in some roles, like depending on what department you're in, is just wiping butts, So a lot of people get into it thinking they're going to be, able to save lives and whatnot, but it's hard depending on which situation you're in. And obviously also if you can't make enough to live in the capital cities, and you have to travel 2 hours to get to your hospital each and every day, that's gonna make a massive toll on you. Like in Sydney, like people on a nursing wage cannot live in Sydney. Like it's almost impossible these days unless you're, with a partner, maybe have a roommate as well. Like it's not realistic. Let's get into it.
I hate being a nurse.
Worst part about his entire career,
working with other nurses.
Lately, working in healthcare is giving ghetto.
Nursing is the most toxic profession of all time.
The number one reason that I quit is because I hate working with other nurses. I'm not saying all nurses are bad. I just have had my fair share of nurses who were just straight up bullies, made my job miserable, and they were just miserable themselves and just brought the vibe down at work, and it was just such a negative environment to be in. Second biggest reason is because of management. When I tell you I have not had a single decent manager in nursing. These people gaslight you. They don't care about you. They just care about their bonuses and their paycheck. They don't care that you're struggling on the floor. They don't really genuinely care about the patients either. And when your manager doesn't care about a patient, it kind of makes it hard for you to care about your job as well. The third reason is controversial, but I'm going to say it anyway. I hated working 312s. Everyone's like, I have 4 days off. Okay, but now I work 5 days a week and I feel like I have more time and more mental space for myself and my friends and my family. When you work those 312s, those 4 days off, you're laying in bed for 2 recovering. You're thinking about coming to work for the next few days and you have to meal prep, you have to prepare, you have to rest. It makes you not want to do anything because you don't want to be tired and like strain yourself before you go to work. I decided enough was enough. I went back to school, got a certification in data analytics, and now I do work in the healthcare sector doing data analytics, and I couldn't be happier. I have amazing managers. My hours are wonderful. I set my own schedule. I work from home. All around, I 100% do not regret leaving nursing.
I hate being
If you know anyone that's, a nurse or whatnot, comment down below. Like my partner was a nurse at one point. She's no longer a nurse. She went into another career. And she didn't mind it. Like there was obviously hard days here and there, like a lot of, especially dealing with older people, and they shit themselves or they fall over in the showers or you got to shower them. There's a lot of things to go on there in terms of the work. But then, that's not even the hardest part. When you've got crappy work colleagues, crappy management, and at the end of the day, most of it's government funded. So, if there's not enough funding to, make your job actually possible, then it's honestly at the end of the day just becomes a toxic work environment. And why would you continue working there? Like, get out of there as quickly as possible. Like the pay isn't even that great. Like you will make, 80 to 90 grand a year. So that's, not too bad, but considering you went to uni for 3 years, it's not worth it, right?
a nurse. And that might be a strong statement, and I literally feel like I'm gonna get upset, but I have been a registered nurse for 10 years. I have changed jobs several times because everybody's like, the great thing about being a nurse is if you don't like one area, you can go to another. And I've done ER, I've done NICU, I've done private duty, I've done IV hydration. I've tried all these different things, and I hate it. I hate being a nurse. There are so many nurse content creators on here that love it, and like, I'm so happy that they have found a career that they have loved. But after a decade of being a nurse, I hate it, and I want a new career.
Lately, working in healthcare is giving ghetto. It's giving white refrigerator. It's giving, girl, put your shoes on and let's find you a home. And it's not because of the patients, it's because of management. It starts off with them not wanting to hire replacements for the people that retire or leave. And so then here we are in our departments, overworking ourselves. Girl. Then.
Yeah, understaffed, working insane hours, sometimes even not paid, because if you go home then who's going to get the meds? Like, it's just like they're you're there to help people, and at the end of the day, that takes priority, right?
It goes into them wanting to incentivize overtime. Listen, having a bonus on top of your overtime, it sounds cute on paper, girl. But you know what they're really incentivizing? They're incentivizing you overworking yourself. They're incentivizing you spending less time with your family, your friends, and your partner. They're incentivizing you spending less time loving on yourself. Why? Because you're working. Lastly, it's them not wanting to give us the supplies that we need to do our job correctly and efficiently. I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was gonna have to be Mary Poppins at work. Like, girl, do I need to bring my own toilet paper? Do I need to bring my own sabanas? Girl, get out of here. It's good.
Hospital? No, it's my coworkers. That's honestly the worst part about this entire career, and no one talks about how toxic nursing is, because I thought when I graduated high school and middle school that I would stop being bullied. I would stop dealing with gossip, cliques, backstabbing, all this stuff. No, you deal with all that stuff right back as a nurse in the hospital.
Sadly, that's, most careers you can have that sort of bullying and stuff. That's just how humans are. It's sad, and obviously it's not right, but you'll get that in any workplace. Obviously, there are workplaces that don't have that sort of toxic environment, but they're few and far between.
As you are dealing with other people's lives, and I'm not joking, there will be so many times where I will just hide out in my patient's room and I'll be like, do you want to watch Madagascar or Shrek 1, 2, and 3 on repeat? Because I would rather be here than out there with my coworkers. And now I have a job where my coworkers are all awesome. I love every single one of them. And right now I'm actually not miserable. When I go to work, I'm not crying. I'm not anxious. I actually enjoy my coworkers, my boss. I don't understand how I found this job, but it's amazing. But it took me so long to realize I don't hate being a nurse. I just hate being in a toxic environment, and I hope you guys can find something as good as this.
Nursing is the most toxic profession of all time. I can't even think of another profession more toxic. If you can, let me know. We're not meant to be on such high alert for such a long period of time. We're always on constant fight or flight mode. We are always activated. Even when you're chilling, you're not chilling. The amount of anxiety, the amount of stress that is put on our minds, on our emotional well-being, no human should ever have to go through. 1 minute you're coding grandma in one room, then the next second you're getting yelled at by someone who's mad because they waited 30 minutes in the ER, and then the next moment you're coding baby, and then the next minute someone's mad at you for not bringing them water. Nah, this ain't it. People are like, oh, you just can't let it bother you. What? We are put in between life and death, and you're just expected to go home like everything's okay, and then you show up to work and people say, do better. You didn't chart this on time. You didn't give this med on time. Insane. It's insanity. I don't know how we normalize such a toxic profession. People are like, oh, you can make it better one step at a time. No, there is no getting better. This machine has too much money.
And too many people are trying to get into it as well. Like, it's a pretty desirable job, in a sense. Like, I don't know, from high school, I can imagine probably 10 people, or think of 10 people that ended up going into nursing. I don't know if they're still in nursing or whatnot, but yeah, it's pretty high demand, especially for females, to get into. And once you're in there, they sort of realize, oh crap, this is not what I want. And that's why there's that huge statistic around nurses dropping out pretty quickly. They burn out, work too many hours, don't get paid enough, don't see the benefit of it, and just jump ship very quickly. And it's just the way it is. Obviously, it doesn't help if your environment of work colleagues is not ideal. And yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys, what you guys think below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Later.